Hello, welcome back to Jillianical Podfix. This is Mind Games Are All Related, chapters 10 and 11. These will be the last two chapters for this fic, and I think there's more to this series. There is. Okay, onto the series. Chapter 10, Truth Comes to Light. Summary: Izuku and Hitoshi have a plan to reveal themselves to the class. Now it was time for Izuku and Hitoshi to reveal the exact specifics behind their relationship and their relationship with their dad to the whole class. They needed to grab a certain Class 1B blonde for this too. He'd been the only person to figure anything out, after all, and he didn't even interact with the class as much as the others. Hey, Dad. Yes, Hitoshi. I think it's time that we reveal ourselves to the class. Go for it. Well, that was easy. Maybe after they did this, their dad would be able to get through an entire day of class without feeling like he needed to quit the job. Hitoshi and Izuku always laughed at that. Even if the man pretended it, he never really hated his job at UA. The two teens reached the Class 1B door, knocking on it to wait for Vlad to open it. While they were there, they might as well have a little bit of fun with it. Izuku was very good at impersonating their dad. Yes, Vlad King stopped as soon as he saw Izuku. Vlad, I need to borrow Monoma, Izuku drawled out in an almost perfect imitation of their dad's voice. Of course, have him, Vlad squeaked. Just acting like their dad got other UA teachers acting like that? Hitoshi would have to get Izuku to do it more often. Oh well, it was time to head back to 1A, a very confused blonde following behind them. Reaching the door to 1A, Hitoshi paused with Monoma outside the room. I'm going to enter first. You come in second and sit in the open seat where Izuku normally sits. What about Izuku? Monoma asked. Look at him. Hitoshi deadpanned. Okay, Monoma would admit he should have noticed what the Raven would be doing. He was dressed in his own version of his dad's costume. I'm going to be acting as our dad until he appears. Hitoshi slid the door open, walking inside and leaving Monoma outside the class with Izuku. Go in now, Izuku whispered to the blonde, already hearing the commotion when the blonde walked in instead of him. Monoma, what are you doing here? This is 1A. I don't know. I was just told to come here and sit down by Vlad King. That was Izuku's cue, entering the room. All right, Hellspawn, quieten down. Izuku was having a blast doing this. Yes, Hitoshi. Izuku sighed out, rubbing his eyes like their dad would. Where's my brother? He's sick today, so Monoma is here as a substitute in today's lesson. The moment it clicked was obvious. Wait! Brother! Izuku is your brother? What a mad bouquet of darkness. Between all of the chaos was a stunned blonde. You guys didn't know? No. Monoma was now rolling around on the floor in laughter. Izuku, what are you doing? An even more tired-sounding Aizawa spoke from the door. Nothing, Dad. As soon as that came out of Izuku's mouth, half the class fainted out of pure shock. Do you think we overdid it, Toshi? Nah, just give him some time. Aizawa was standing in the background, hitting his head on the wall, muttering, why, over and over again. Taking the UA job had been a mistake. He was going to retire with Hisashi and run as far away from UA as possible. Chapter 11. Mind Games. We're all related. Yamada Hisashi wasn't involved in the whole chaos that Izuku and Hitoshi were putting Shouta through. Well, except from the spider incident, and he'd rather not talk about that. What he wasn't expecting was to walk into 1A to start English and be met with shouting students. A laughing blonde laying on the floor, Shouta muttering while hitting his head on the wall, and of course, Izuku and Hitoshi grinning the entire time. What's going on here? Papa, you've come to see the chaos? Izuku snorts from his place beside Hitoshi. I came to start English, Hisashi responded confusedly. Wait, did he just say Papa? Kirishima shouts, kicking chaos up even more. Hisashi's quirk didn't make him louder for no reason. Stepping up to the front of the class, quiet! The deafening silence that followed was music to his ears. There were 16 students looking at him with curious eyes and 5 smirking at him. Okay, to answer some questions, Shouta and I are married. Izuku and Hitoshi are his biological sons. Shouta and Izuku are boyfriends. The same applies to Denki and Hitoshi, Hisashi explains to the class. Why didn't you share your surnames or Aizawa-sensei's if they're your sons? It was to protect us from being identified as the children of 2 pro-heroes. That could end up in villains targeting any of us to get to the others, Hitoshi spoke up. If you really think about them, then you should probably reach us anyway. Imada is a mix of I from Aizawa and Mada from my surname Yamada. Then Hitoshi uses Yamazawa, Yama for the first half of Yamada, and Zawa for the latter half of Aizawa. The class had the decency to look sheepish at not realizing that sooner. Admittedly, we did play some mind games. We're all related, Izuku exclaimed, a very obvious tone of enjoyment coming from his voice. In that moment, Hisashi understood where Shouta was coming from. He would be asking for a raise from Nezu for simply being associated with this shit. That was Mind Games Were All Related, written by @Stitch_RK and read by Jelly Yamiko. Have a nice day, everyone, or night. Have a nice something. I don't know. Hope you're doing well. Bye-bye. Love you all.